morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Tube. I
Anyway,
do
we were just talking
apologize for
about your
running a little
gaming
bit late.
channel.
We were talking about Tito's gaming channel, and he didn't care that we had to keep anybody who decided to watch us to keep waiting. But you know what? I decided we have to keep the fucking two people watching us amused. So, welcome to NerdTube. We're talking about the Mandalorian, episode 5 of season 3, Piracy Rocks. I'm here with Revenge of the Zam and Zam the sequel. How you guys doing?
Very well.
Doing good, mate.
Oh,
Now, I
very nice.
usually
Excellent.
do take notes for these episodes, but I'm winging it today because I wasn't unable to take notes, even though I've seen the episode a couple of times. Before we start talking about this episode, Ginger, how did you find today's episode?
Silly but good, if that makes sense. Like it's like it's still like such a borderline kids show, but
Mm,
I enjoyed quite a lot of the aspects of it, and I just want to say that that pirate captain is one of the best looking creatures designs in a long fucking time. Like so memorable, and I know it borrows from other kind of creatures, but I love the look of him. Is fantastic. Also, it was nice to see. I think it's Zab or Zeb
hmm
from
oh, Zeb.
Rebels.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, that was nice to see. That I actually popped for that.
I
Um,
I just thought it was a different member of that race. I didn't know it was him until I saw the credits, and I'm like, oh my god, that was actually Zeb.
yeah, it was actually him.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
So that and the kind of stuff that unfolded with the Mandalorians after all the action stuff I kind of liked as well. I'm a whore for law. Um, but oh, and the stuff with the new Republic stuff as well. I really enjoyed. That's the part I enjoyed the most in this episode. So it was definitely one of the best episodes of this season for me.
Gia?
Actually, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It is absolutely one of my favorite episodes so far this season. Yeah, I mean, it was nice seeing Zeb. As I said, I just thought it was another member of that race, and it actually turned
I'm
out to
just
be
gonna go
him.
let my cat in. I'll be right back. Sorry.
We got to see lots of pew pews and lots of ground assaults, and lots of aliens. I mean, Ginger's gone at the moment, but I mean, there were so many aliens in this episode. I mean, we saw them at the fighter base, the New Republic base. We saw Zeb is what Chewbacca looked like in the original sketches. I did not know that. So yeah, there was just
Welcome.
there was a lot to love about this episode, and I can't wait to dig into it.
Did I win something on my McDonald's thing? Well, I can't tell actually. I'll check a bit later. All right. Yeah, I actually I love this episode. I do know what Ginger Greek was going on about regarding this being like a proper kids show. Um, because like there's moments where you see like the pirates are being when they're taking over the planet and they're acting all piracy going ha ha ha, and it's like and they knock over the waiter's tray and stuff like that. Oh look, they're such evil men, and you know what I mean. And you got the salacious crumb fucking creatures in the trees. It feels like Jim Henson's workshop, which is fine by me, but it doesn't feel necessarily. I don't think we'll ever get that darkness from Empire Strikes Back in these Mandalorian shows. Like, it's very difficult. When you watch episode 1, which I decided to watch as well when I was coming back to London today, it is so far away from what it is now. It really is a family friendly show, and I do think that that's to the detriment. But still, I'm having a good time with the programming. I am enjoying it, and once again, this is a great episode. It just kind of reminds me of like those Saturday afternoon sort of television shows we would watch as a kid, like MacGyver and A Team and stuff like that. If you know what I mean. It's got that
Mhm.
sort of vibe about it. So I'm gonna try to remember exactly what happened, but I one of the things that kind of really made me happy about this show is I thought this episode was going to be mainly about that X-wing pilot. who I'm going to be calling Captain Blue because I've forgotten his name. Unless you can pull it up for me.
I can pull it up, but I don't remember it off the top of my head either.
Caston or something like that. But yeah, I genuinely thought we would be following him around for majority of the episode, especially when we saw him on that sort of paradise planet where Tiva is his name. Daniel Vance.
Tiva.
Yeah. So because we saw him on that paradise, and that's when we saw Zeb, and then he got the distress call from Grief, and then he went to Coruscant. I thought, oh, we're going to follow him around and see what he's about and see him be a detective and all of that. But that wasn't necessarily the case. But Grief Karga's planet has been taken over by pirates because the pirate captain, Captain Swamp Thing, he's not happy with how his boys were treated. And this time, they're using that who shot first sort of lingo, and they used it in this. And the pirate captain says, I'm going to shoot first, and he blows the shit out of Navarro. I keep thinking Navarro. What's it called again?
Yes, Navarro.
It's Navarro.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He blows the shit out of Navarro, and then we get the credits. It's the pirate. And as I said earlier, then I thought we'd be mainly following Tiva around, like it would be like episode 3, where we're following a side character. And he does, and it's funny because the New Republic, they're made to look at, they really come across as shitty and incompetent, don't they? I mean, like Mandalore is not pulling their punches. The New Republic are so fucking stupid, and they do nothing, and they don't want to help when they need to help. But we do get to see Elia Kane in this episode too, and you could tell Tiva thinks, you know what, Kane, I don't fucking trust you. And he's picking up vibes from her. I think Kane let the mask slip a little bit, regarding her intentions, and he picked up on that. So we'll see how that pans out. But she's definitely a plant from Moff Gideon, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but then
for sure.
Obviously, but then
let me just interject before we move on too quickly. This was one of the errors that I found really stupid, was when the pirates attack. It's just like, how do you not have basic defenses for a whole fucking city like that, with a history of Moff Gideon's gang running it and the pirates being a problem? They just kind of sat there and took it. They didn't put up any resistance. They had no defense. That was just really, really irritating.
You know what? Actually, I'm really glad you brought that up, because I didn't realize that other than Grief himself, there was no police, no security, nothing. It was just Grief. How has that place not been taken over any earlier than it has been now?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I'm surprised. It's the only town on that fucking planet by the looks of things as well. Because you know how it is in Star Wars, a town represents a whole fucking planet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Vance, I just want to say, Zeb is what Chewbacca looked like in the original sketches. I think I have that figure as well in my collection. Some of the original.
Sketchy.
Yeah. What was the name of the Macquarie's original sketches? They released those as action figures, and I bought the lot.
Oh, nice. The other thing I wanted to point out was that we had some other guest stars. Apparently, all the cast. Remember in the one episode of The Mandalorian where all those fighter pilots showed up, like Deborah Chow, Dave Filoni. They were also sitting at the bar.
Yeah, they were all at the bar.
They were all at the bar, but the director didn't really do a good job with the camera work for us to notice them that well. To tell you the truth, because I didn't notice them. I have to watch it maybe on the big screen, because I watched the episode twice on my phone. C-3PO droid that Karga used, and I do know about that. Is also original. I mean, even that, it harkens back to things like is it Metropolis and all of that sort of shit?
Yes.
I mean, so yeah.
Well, and also I think there's a red droid in the background that's got like a really high, head. That's another original. I mean, they really threw a lot of Easter eggs in this one because they could. Like there was a lot of just. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but I enjoyed the Zeb. The Zeb one was my favorite Easter egg.
That was more than an Easter egg. I would say that's
not an Easter egg. Yeah, that was a cameo, a lovely cameo.
Well, I do feel like that's also maybe like helping us maybe get in the Ahsoka series as well, like a gateway to that possibly in the future as well. I saw some of the behind the scenes footage of that, and there is a a link to Rebels, which obviously Zeb is from. So okay. So the Tiva realizes that the New Republic ain't going to do shit, but he does feel a sense of responsibility that you have to stop these pirates from taking over, particular places. So he goes to, he knows where the Mandalorians are chilling out. And honestly, I was so happy that this was the case, because once again, we weren't following totally on Tiva here. We were going to get back to the Mandalorians. And as soon as he was going to the Mandalorians, there was a song that just popped in my head. It's "I Need a Hero," and I just felt that because I mean, as he's going there and he's going to get their help, and of course, Amanda's going to get the help. But I do love the way that they're all fucking, very paranoid about him, and they're not taking to him too well. Luckily,
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, Mando knows him and stuff. And I'm surprised Mando didn't get pissed off with R5, because his history with droids, and R5 sold him out.
That's honestly one of my biggest gripes, is that's a very inconsistent, like, as I said, as inconsistency across this whole season. It's like in that first episode, he's like, "Oh, I don't like droids. Oh, that's the only one I can trust." And then he goes and just gets R5. He's basically, having sex with, like the slut droids in the back, in the Mandalorian caves, like it doesn't matter. He's just kind of,
he sells them out, and that a nice little nod to his mistrust should have been like, okay, well, he blows R5's brains out. He should just blown his brains out on principle.
Yeah,
this is why I don't trust droids.
But then we get a moment where it's not like, it's basically like a soapbox sort of moment where people just be able to speak their minds regarding
more of like a
soapbox
Senate.
Moment. Yeah,
no, it's the Mandalorian Senate.
In the UK, we call it a soapbox moment. That's because people would go and stand on a soapbox or a box in the middle of Hyde Park and speak their minds with no restrictions.
Oh no, I know what a soapbox is. It seemed more like it, though. It did seem more like a old republic, not old republic, but like a republic senate.
Well, for me, it was. I felt like that. Just the fucking Monty Python moment was like, "Get on with it, yes, get on with it." That kind of.
Well, for me, I wasn't really a big fan of them having to hold the armor.
Hey, that's a talking stick.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit stupid. But he's got the fucking dark saber, man. Like, this is my fucking talking stick.
Yeah, right. He should have just walked up and been like, like somebody should have been like challenging, like, "You cannot talk in front of all the Mandalorians." Like, "I can."
But I'm very glad that they did keep to some consistency here by reminding them that, you know what, Grief wasn't our ally; he was our enemy back in season 1, and that was the case. Because Mandalorian did shoot him, but luckily he had the Beskar in his pocket that saved his life. All of these things, so he is reminding them that was the case. But he has had a change of heart. They are cool now and everything, and he wants to go there and save them. And then the Favalorian comes in with his opinion, and you think he's going to shit all over him, but no, he goes, "We're fucking Mandalorians. This is what we do. This is who we are. We go in and we fucking shoot the shit out of it. We live for war. We live for conflict almost. This is who we are, and this is the fucking way." And I fucking loved it. I mean, that was a very cool moment. And what bugged me the most is, how the hell did they get on that planet if they haven't got a ship other than what Bo-Katan had? Did their ship get destroyed by the alligator in episode 1? I can't remember.
Yeah, it got eaten by the alligator, and we'll never talk about it ever again.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It fell into the plot hole in the desert.
That's it.
Okay, Daniel Vaughn says Colonel Turtle was played by Tim Meadows, one of the long. Yeah, he was that dude, that New Republic guy. I still wanted him to have a glass of. Sorry, someone say that word, please. Courvoisier as a deep cut SNL joke. I thought that dude was an older version of Everybody Hates Chris. That's what he reminded me of. But anyway,
I remember him from some film. He had him and Lee Evans, and it was like a love god or some shit like that, which I really enjoyed.
Lee Evans.
I remember him mostly from SNL.
Lee Evans is a
Yeah,
fucking
no,
one of the
with
greatest
Lee
comedians
Evans,
of all
it was in
time.
a film. I'll find it. Hang on, you guys carry on. Take me 2 seconds.
No problem. So they set a plan up, obviously, to go there. They're going to use both Bo-Katan's ship and Mando's ship, and they're going to use Mando as a decoy, and then Bo-Katan's going to drop a whole bunch of Mandalorians there. And I have to say, this after watching John Wick 4, this is why sometimes
No
you need a
spoilers.
good. No spoilers. I promise you that. Well, just John Wick in general, whether it be 4, 2, whatever. Yeah, this is why you sometimes
the ladies' man. That was it. Sorry.
This is why you probably need somebody who's a good fight choreographer or a good action choreographer. Even though, but I thought this director did a decent job. But I really didn't feel that we got enough of that Mandalorian kick-ass style in the action sequences. Not enough. Not the way. Not enough to satisfy me personally. You know, they looked pretty good at moments.
I did like it.
Yeah, using
I
their
did like the
lariats.
combat parts. Yeah.
It wasn't enough. Like there was a moment like when they all came into battle and stuff like that, and go, "Oh, they got us pinned down, even though we got rocket packs on our back." Yeah, but we're pinned down. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? You could just fly out of there, no problem, and shit like that.
Again,
And
the
then
rocket pads fell in
yeah.
the plot hole in the desert.
Yeah.
And then
It's like,
Mandalorian
we have
comes
rocket
in.
pads. Yes, let's do ground combat rather than rooftop combat and guerrilla warfare. We'll just put ourselves in an open situation from both angles, allow us to get completely surrounded. It's just like, all right, these things, I know they don't seem like a big issue to a lot of people, but to me, it's just really fucking
Noticeable.
bad.
Yeah.
It's really noticeable, and it takes me out of it because I'm like, if you're in a real life war situation, you're getting wiped out. In that, it's very rare you're gonna get out if you're surrounded like that, and it's just like, it takes me out of it. Thankfully, at least they got the Beskar armor as a plot device to get out of things.
Like nearly every, I think every Mandalorian pretty much had like some sort of like rifle weapon. I wanted somebody to have twin blasters like fucking Jango Fett, you know, and shoot people. I wanted one Mandalorian to burn alive a fucking pirate, burn them alive. You know what I mean?
Use those fucking rockets that you got on your backpacks.
Yeah. Well, they got flamethrowers, don't they? You know.
Yeah,
so
they got flamethrowers, rockets.
I wanted one of them to
dildos.
Like one of the things I imagined was like shoot that lariat thing around their neck, fly over a pole, and then pull them up and hang the fucker. You know what I mean?
Just I don't think Disney would like that, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like you've got.
Oh no, that's some Assassin's Creed level of shit, right? Like Connor Kenway from Assassin's Creed 3. Do that kind of bullshit. I love it. I would love to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Mandalorian, he looks like he's got a lot of strength. I would love to see him use his lariat, hit somebody, then hoist the fucker and swing him around and hit somebody else. Like real show some inventive moves instead of just pew pew here and there, and you know,
and it's pew pew that's badly edited as well.
Yeah, even the armorer when she did her little scene, it wasn't as good as what we saw in the previous episode where she beat the shit out of those stormtroopers. Her moment was really shit in my opinion as well.
Yeah.
It just didn't work in the way that satisfied me in what you think of the Mandalorians are. But fair enough, they beat up all the pirates, and there's still a pirate in the sky. That ship kind of reminded me of Thanos' ship from Endgame. I'm not sure if you guys got that same vibe.
No,
not
really.
I got more of a
it was more to do with
Babylon 5
those weapons. Those weapons, like those
okay. Well, the weapons coming out of the bottom, I guess. That makes sense,
and all that.
But like the design, because Thanos' ship was long. It wasn't like an actual like it wasn't long. It was a wide ship. So
And the only good thing I saw from the Mandalorians in this battle scene was one of the Mandalorians. He's almost surfing one of the pirate ships.
Yeah,
and,
I saw that.
And he shoots off at the end. That looked fucking cool. But we didn't get enough of that. But
yeah,
that one pesky pirate who Mandalorian never takes care of, who seems to get away. He makes a runner, while fucking Captain fucking Swamp Thing decides to go down with his ship. You know, and he dies and.
Which
And
is
then
kind of
next thing
sad
you
because
know,
I was, like Ginger said, I was enjoying that pirate character, and I know you don't want to abuse it if it's something good, but like you didn't have to kill him. They could have captured him and then taken him away for a while, and then maybe turned up some time.
Nah, yes and no. Like, I'm glad he's one and done. He gets to live in the law forever as this beautiful, amazingly designed creature,
well,
and I don't want him to kind of shit
Who is it going to
on
be
his.
the next
well,
Yoda type character? There's only one of them out there until you get Swamp Thing.
Yeah, Swamp Thing planet, which
Yeah.
is
well, look,
another desert, ironically.
well, you got the like Jabba the Hutt here, yeah, and Jabba the Hutt when he got killed off, I was a bit gutted, but we did come across other Hutts as well, before and after him in the sequels and prequels. So you can have another guy who's just like that, who just happens to be different.
Make
Yeah,
him
You
like
know,
make
yeah.
him like tall and lanky instead of like stocky like this guy, like tall and lanky, and he's like kind of looks like a I don't know, just like he's like
Shaggy.
tall and lanky, he still has the big beard, and then he comes in, actually he's like just like the ones at Gangster, he's like a bean counter. He's like, that was actually my brother. You killed him, and he saw.
Anyway, here's my alien microbrew. He's like a hipster fucking version.
Here, I keep it in my beard.
I keep it in my beard.
Now-
All the hops.
That other pirate who seems to be who seems to have many like 9 lives, he got away. And, he did the right thing. So, do you think there's a chance that we might see Hondo in this from the Clone Wars? He teams up with them because we got Cad Bane back. We got Zeb, maybe Hondo.
I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised,
know.
but maybe in the next fucking series.
I mean, I think they've kind of hit their fan service limit for me. Like, I don't mind this amount of fan service, but like, you're gonna hit that moment where it's like, and this is kind of where Ahsoka Tano came in last season. So it's like, but this is where it kind of went all downhill in season 2. Is like Ahsoka Tano came in, more Jedi bullshit, more
Yeah.
and so not knocking on the Jedi shit because that's not in this season, but I'm just saying like you can only honestly do so much fan service until it becomes a parody, in my opinion. So,
Which I'll be honest with you, it has become a parody in the Mandalorian.
yeah,
It
for
has.
sure.
That's my personal thing. So although I enjoyed Zeb being in that, I enjoy it because I know he's coming up. So it's fan service, but I know he's going to be in Rebels as well. And the design of him going from cartoon CGI to this CGI, I thought, again, great job. Great job on the creature designs.
It was fantastic, actually.
Absolutely brilliant. So I want to see more of him.
I think this is why we didn't see any in the Mandalore or in Andor, was because they were solely focused on creature creation and CGI and everything for like Mandalorian. Like I seriously think
probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, they probably put all their budget in that and couldn't put just that's why they had to have so many humans in Andor.
Yeah.
Read this, Ginger.
The Mandalorians have been hiding for so long, their military practice, it will develop over time. I think you give their writing too much credit, personally. It would be nice if it's true, but they couldn't even handle a turtle crocodile thing.
Now, when Grief Karga evacuated the city, I mean, we're talking a city here. Did you see how many fucking people were with him?
Yeah, 10.
About 10.
Yeah, but
I mean, our budget can only fit 10 people in this shot. What about the others? Oh,
yeah, I'm pretty sure though that people died. I mean, I know they didn't show that on screen. It would have been nice to see some of that, like people getting vaporized. But let's see some women and children vaporization. Come on, Mickey, give it to us.
Yeah, die.
Waiting for Bo to seek out Sabine Wren now until all the people who have welded the Darksaber 1 series needed one more fan service. Well, I'll tell you what, I genuinely thought we were going to get this because after the Mandalorians got back to the city and Grief Karga sank them and it was indebted to them, he gave them a big piece of fucking land for them to chill out on. And it's not like the Mandalorians couldn't have got that land anyway without fucking...
they could have literally just walked in and took it.
Yeah, like fucking we'll chill up here, just don't bother us.
But here's the thing though, it's kind of like we're kind of looking at this good. Because in the first episode he even Karga even said, he's like, oh, I have this fine piece of land. He's like, from the lava pits to this canyon. And I'm like, you mean like that
Bullet
entire
Canyon, by the
area that
way.
looks like a desolate bullshit? Yeah, that's a great area to make
Yeah,
home.
where's the ocean?
Bullock Canyon, which is named after Jeremy Bullock, who obviously
Is now
played
being renamed Bullock's Canyon.
no, Bullock Canyon, which I found out is named after Jeremy Bullock, who was the original Boba Fett. So
yeah, the Boba Fett I don't like, the one that was in like Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back for 6 minutes and apparently splooged a whole fan base.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's like, yes, he looks
exactly.
cool as a toy, but let's not fucking pretend that he wasn't a complete moron.
Anyways. So so what do you call it? The Favorian tells Bo-Katan that look, Armorer wants to have a chat with you, and I really thought we were going to get a massive reveal from the Armorer. I thought she was going to take off her helmet and go, "It's me, Sabine Wren." All you know what I mean, but that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case because after telling the Armorer about her vision, how she saw the what was it, the Mythosaur, back in episode 2. Like the Armorer has like, because she's all cult like and all of that, she's got like ideas popping into her head that that Bo-Katan can bring all the Mandalorians together. She's been part of her tribe. She's part of a different tribe. She is the one. She's the chosen one of the Mandalorians. So she makes her take off her helmet, which I thought was, what the fuck? I just couldn't believe that. That was so weird. You know what I mean? But she makes her take off her helmet and then tells her to fuck off and bring all the Mandalorians together. So fair dues.
I thought that was going to be the moment where like either Bo-Katan or the Armor was revealed to be like a villain of some kind, or so, like I'm waiting for a great betrayal. Like I feel like there should be a great betrayal coming, whether it's from Bo-Katan, whether it's from the Armor, what I mean? Like I don't know.
A lot of people are suggesting that Bo-Katan will turn heel at some point and will betray the Mandalorians or Din Djarin, to be more precise. Din Djarin still holds the Darksaber, and I feel that will play a pivotal role in all of this.
It'd be great storytelling if she unites all the Mandalorians and then starts fucking pitting them against
the Armor or Bo-Katan?
Bo-Katan.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, because I know that we haven't really reached the end stinger of the episode, the kind of the mystery portion yet, but there's parts of that like really I've got thoughts on that. So I mean we can continue on.
I'm gonna get to that 1 second.
I know
the Armor is related to Bo, and I want to see her face for more than just uniting the Mandalorians. Yeah, I thought once she revealed her face, I thought all the fucking Mandalorians were going to take off their helmets, but that wasn't the case either. But we get to the final part now, and Teva is in his X-wing, and he sees a derelict Imperial shuttle. Yep, and it's got a hole blown into the side. It was supposed to be carrying Moff Gideon. There's a couple of New Republic troopers in there who have been frozen solid, and as he scans I like the way that R2 unit pops its eye out or whatever, and it floats there, and it's a little probe. Nice touch. I like shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it does a little scan. Kind of reminded me of Aliens a little bit. I'm not sure if you know what I mean with that scanny thing from Aliens.
Yep.
And they find some Beskar there now. Immediately it has to be the Mandalorians because it's fucking Beskar. I mean, no, it's not like Beskar is not used as currency throughout the fucking universe, but nevertheless, it has to be the Mandalorians. But not all Mandalorians are good people. There are bad Mandalorians out there, like the ones who are like in line with Darth Maul.
The Mandalorians is what they call them.
The Mandalorians as well. And it's like, so there are a couple of theories. Like it could be them, or it could be some bait left behind by Moff Gideon to make the Mandalorians be blamed by this, so the New Republic goes after the Mandalorians and they have their own civil war, so to speak, whilst Moff Gideon and joins up with Thrawn for some endgame shenanigans.
Actually, I think Daniel Vance brings up a good point. Weren't the Dark Troopers at the end of season 2? Weren't they made of Beskar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Really?
yeah.
Okay, I don't remember that, but okay.
I'm not 100%, but if Daniel Vance also could, like, because I was thinking the same thing when I watched the episode. Now Daniel Vance kind of confirmed it, that because I thought it. I'm like, so it could be the Dark Troopers.
Okay, I mean that is the case, but Moff Gideon has escaped, so we're looks like we're getting our mustache twirling villain who they can't seem to stop make another comeback, and I do feel that we might get I think maybe next week's episode, if we do get an episode like similar to episode 3, might be based on Moff Gideon. If
Possibly.
That's the case.
Yeah.
I feel like Moff Gideon is not making it out of this season alive. I feel like at the end of this season, it's going to be. I think Thrawn's going to kill him because he's failed him so many times or whatever, and that's going to be
It's going to be a baton pass. That's for sure. A baton pass from Gideon to Thrawn.
Yeah, and as I said, I feel like he's going to kill Gideon because he's been around for mostly 3 seasons. He was at the very end of the first season, all of season 2. And then, he's been at least looming around for most of this season. So, I mean, I feel like he's kind of ran his course. He's gone from being like Magneto to like absent dad, like
absentee father.
Yeah, like
So you don't think it was left behind
episode 10?
So it could be I mean, it is Beskar. How do you leave a chunk of Beskar behind? It's supposed to be almost indestructible. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? All of this is a bit weird.
Well, and that's why I think it's a plan. I mean, I agree with you that it's a plan. Like that it's, and as I said, it could have been.
But it finally made things interesting. Like now, fucking 5 episodes in, I'm actually interested in what's going to happen. It's just pissy that it took this long to get to the interesting stuff, because like this season's been a fucking wash. I think it's only been like 1 or 2 good episodes, so it's nice that we got, and I hope if we just remain on this path of intrigue, and we get a couple of nice juicy cliffhangers.
I thought we got quite a lot of Mandalorian lore in this episode, personally.
But that's the stuff I enjoy. It's the lore.
Yeah, that's why this
episodes I enjoyed.
Yeah, this is why it's one of the best episodes of the season. Like,
yeah, and also like the cutaway to the New Republic stuff was enjoyable as well. I like that captain as well. I forget his fucking name.
Tiva.
Tiva, yeah, like Tiva.
Yeah, Tiva. Yeah.
Teabag.
Tiva,
I want to see more. Teabag.
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 I definitely want to see more of him in maybe things like the Ahsoka series and stuff like that.
Yeah, that. But he's making, because he's like, they got a good actor to play him. I know he's from King's Convenience and all of that, and he's just a big Star Wars fan, so this is like his dream come true. But the fact that he plays an interesting character makes me want to go and see Rebels when it comes out, or whatever it's called. Not Rebels.
Okay.
No. What's the other one they're doing as well?
Rogue Squadron. They're not doing that anymore.
No, it's something of the New Republic. Rangers of the
New
Republic.
Oh yeah. Well, are they still doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're just not having.
There's just no dates on any of this stuff yet. It's all in pre-production.
If he was the lead character for that, I'd watch that, because I'm finding him.
I don't think he'll be the lead.
Really cool.
I feel like he's going to be like. Here's my takeaway from this episode and that character. I think we are seeing, and I hate that this ties into the sequels, but I think that we're starting to see already the rumblings of the resistance that rises up against the First Order, because obviously this captain is very disgruntled with how things are going in Coruscant, and I think that we're going to see why the resistance is necessary. It's not that they're a rebellion, they're a resistance. It's because the New Republic is doing shit, and the resistance is like, somebody's got to do something. And I feel like this is kind of the early rumbling, the early indigestion of that before the big diarrhea flow out.
I'm not so sure. I still think there's elements of the Empire still left over, which hasn't been dealt with. And that's obviously with Thrawn and stuff like that. Regarding the First Order, I think that comes after all of this shenanigans. You know what I mean? Like we've only had like a handful of years after Return of the Jedi, so there's still Empire elements that need to be dealt with. It's like what is it? What's the time gap between Return of the Jedi
5 years.
no, Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens?
Is it 20 or
30
years?
30? Yeah.
Yeah,
30 years.
exactly. So I do feel that the First Order build will come from the aftermath of all of this. Once they take care of Thrawn.
No, but the Resistance is already going when the First Order shows up. So the Resistance has to start before the First Order shows up.
Yeah.
So that's why I think
Well,
this is like
yeah.
the early rumblings of the not the First Order, the Resistance, because somebody has to take out the remnants of the Empire. The New Republic is not handling the remnants of the Empire very well.
No, I agree. Regarding the Resistance, I do agree, but I don't necessarily think the First Order will necessarily be showing. I think it's still the Empire.
No, they're not going to show up
taken care of.
No, they're not going to show up for 25 years at this point. Because it's
25 years, 25 years, 20 years even.
Yeah.
If Mara Jade shows up, I'm losing it. Well, that'll be fan service galore, but it won't be the Mara Jade who's in the books because she probably will, because I think Luke is still a virgin.
He's like a virgin.
All right. Let's give it some marks. Ginger?
I'll give this a solid 7 out of 10. I enjoyed a lot of it, but there are still some silly elements in it that relegated the mark by at least a point. But overall, definitely one of the best episodes we've had of The Mandalorian. I'm finally intrigued for the final 3 episodes that we're getting. So a solid 7 out of 10.
Cheats.
I'm going to give it a solid 9 because I really enjoyed this episode.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I mean, you know me, I'm all for like seeing what the bureaucracy on Coruscant, and the discourse going on there. I'm always for seeing like starfighter pilots, and even the little we saw of him of Teabag this week. Like it was still fun to see. It was a nice distraction. If you're going to kind of distract us from the Mandalorian, at least have it something that matters. And I felt like this mattered. And I mean,
yeah.
And I wasn't a hater of episode 3. I know everyone's like, "Oh, it's so boring. I had to turn it off."
I liked episode 3.
No, I loved episode 3.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that's what that's the problem. Like episode 1, parts of episode 2, it was just kind of like that's the kind of stuff that annoys me, you know. So I felt that this was a very solid. Plus, you got your pew pews and the cool pirates and all the aliens and all the butt probes. It was so great, just awesome.
Yeah.
I personally would love to give this episode an 8, but I'm going to stick with Ginger on this one. I'm going to give it a 7, simply because I thought the aerial action scenes were great. I thought the action scenes on the ground were a joke, and it just takes away a mark for me because there was some real stupidness. But I did like a lot of the intertwining. I liked all the story threads coming together in this episode to a degree. The Elia came with Tiva, the Mandalorians, New Republic, all of that, Navarro, a lot came together in this episode, and I very much appreciate that. But it just didn't satisfy me in a way that I would want it to. Daniel Vance is going to give it a 9, I think. I love it when they play. Yeah, this show does feel like those 80s television shows I used to watch as a kid. Like, I was telling Cheeto, like, it reminds me of MacGyver, it reminds me of A-Team, all of that sort of shit. So, with it being kind of family orientated and mainly for kids, but even as an adult, you can have fun with it. So, yeah.
Everybody in the chat, cast your vote.
Now, guess what I got here? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, a surprise unboxing.
Yes. I have not seen this.
I hope it's like a picture, just big hairy nutsack, like somebody like it's somebody else's picture.
Well, this is it right here.
Ah, you did do it.
No, Indiana Jones in the Sarlacc pit. Nice.
Yeah. Isn't that
fantastic.
Cool? No, I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but I've got a little hole in my wall so this will cover that quite nicely.
Oh, brilliant! Did you do a Carl and punch a wall?
No, actually, Cheeto sent me this picture saying I would appreciate it, and I appreciate it so much. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make this into a fucking painting and put it on my
You know,
wall.
every time you bust a nut looking at it, you can think of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, thank
I know
you very
this
much.
is not Star Wars related, but I wanted to show all of these my holy grails that I've wanted since I was a kid. I lost them originally, but I got my Bebop and Rocksteady back.
Oh, nice.
I lost them originally.
Oh man, I had those growing up.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
me too.
Nice.
But I fucking I gave away. I didn't lose them. I gave
John
away
Cena
my
and Seth
collection
Rogen.
to a kid because he really liked them, and I outgrown them. But that was the biggest mistake I ever made. But I'm slowly rebuilding my old collection. But good, we'll see that Sarlacc pit in the background.
also,
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to show off Riker's Chew toy, who, by the way, we didn't see a lot of this week.
No,
Oh,
Right.
the more
wow.
they keep him quiet, the better the show is.
Well,
I know,
look,
right?
the first two seasons was about him. Season 3 isn't. Obviously, it's a little bit about him. You
Well,
can't ignore him
even
completely.
Mando's taken a back seat in his own show.
Well, I mean, it's only fair. I mean, he basically took over Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, but the good thing is it's called the Mandalorian, so it could be any fucking Mandalorian.
And it's not just that,
As
but
long as it's
sometimes-
Mandalorians that are the focal point, it's okay.
Yeah, when you you need to flesh out the side characters sometimes,
Mhm.
and so this
And
is
they're Mandalorians, so it works. This is what we wanted.
I'm not sitting here thinking that, like, as I said, I liked episode 3 and it wasn't about the Mandalorian at all. Like, I think there was barely any of them in there. So I really enjoy when the side characters get fleshed out. As you guys know, I mean, with Star Trek, that's one of current Trek's biggest problems is their side characters. Well, especially in Discovery, they don't get enough love and attention. They're getting better at it, but it's just like, I love the episodes, kind of I don't want to call it filler episodes, but like episodes that just aren't centralized on baby dipshit and Mando dad.
Yeah, but the thing is, look, for those of us that enjoy those kind of episodes, when they're done well, there are some that is just like sometimes they're not great, but they should just give us just call it Star Wars universe, and every week it just delves into like pockets of the universe that and species and aliens and delves into their kind of lore and all this kind of stuff and gives us little stories like that.
I think I think they need to establish a timeline better than BBY. I'm sorry, before Battle of Yavin is. I hate that time frame. I'm like that. The Battle of Yavin is a big moment in Star Wars history, but I feel like it's not like
Order 66 is the biggest.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
or the fall of the Empire. But I think Order 66 is a more pivotal moment in the Star Wars universe. That pre 66 and post 66 should be the time frame, not BBY. I'm like, you're just trying to sell more droids at this point, like
yeah,
exactly.
But I think it's too concrete now to kind of
unfortunately as well.
Well, actually, the only reference to BBY has ever been in Andor. I think Andor started at the very beginning. It said, what was it, like 5 BBY?
Yeah, but I mean, in general Star Wars lore, there's always that timeline. It's always the base. So, yeah,
I know.
It's a shame that the film wasn't made in chronological order, because then I guarantee you it would have been before and after 66. But that's how it goes, unfortunately. So, all right, okay, fellas.
Cool.
I need to juice up my car. Thank you very much, Cheeto and Ginger, also known as Revenge of the Zam and Zam the Sequel. It was an honor for you guys to name yourselves after me.
You, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was an
I'm looking to get a tan.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, join us tomorrow for some Star Trek, as well as on Friday when we'll be giving you as much updates as possible on Jonathan Majors.
Lot of juicy stuff.
Oh my god! And then
Iger,
So
we've got Bob Iger stuff. We've got Jonathan Majors. We've got a returning Marvel character coming back. We've got the greatest Disney firing of all time, which we'll talk about on Friday, and just a couple of bits and pieces within the wrestling world that just made me laugh. And I'm sure
Yeah.
there'll be more stuff added.
WrestleMania
to the list,
preview
still
as well.
ways in.
I'll be talking about some of the, without sounding too much of a Debbie Downer, some of the sort of incidences in America regarding the shootings and stuff. I feel there's something needs to be said about
Yeah, we
that.
will cover politics for sure. We always do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So join us. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Star Trek. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel.